Thank you so much. So, overcoming the challenges of starting a robotic program. I have nothing to disclose so far. So, let me tell you a story. I come from Colombia. I don't know, any of you know where Colombia is? Well, of course. So, Colombia is in South America, not in New York as I was told yesterday. And, well, has anybody been to Colombia? Other than Jesse and Gabriel? No? Ah, great. Of course. So, back again to my story. I work in San Ignacio Hospital. It's a university hospital in Bogota. Bogota is the capital of Colombia. This hospital was built in 1946 and it has grown to its full capacity now, and it needs a new building. So, it's planned to be ready to end of 2019. So the director of the hospital in late 2014, in his many strategies to conceive new ideas for the new hospital, sent out invitations to the different units and departments to write what he called the letter to Santa in order to get those ideas back. So he wanted to find new things in order to improve his idea of the new hospital. And I wrote asking for a robotic assisted surgery program, of course. So as months passed by, in late February 2015, the director of the hospital was actually passing in front of my office one day as he saw the door was open, and he walked in and he asked, "So you want a robot?" And I went like, I was clearly off my game. I just tried to show him why I needed the robot and so on, but he just cut me off and said, you know what, it's too expensive. But then again, I sat down as he walked out of the office and thought, well, at least he noticed that I wanted a robot. So I started to make my plan in order how to ask for the robotic program better. So I made my plan making for it more information, to get more information, to gather skills, to get some experience from it, and to find allies to get my plan. So first, gather for more information. So I went and bought all the books there were for robotic surgery and found the papers. And of course, some contradictions like, is it cost effective? No, or yes. It's all in the same journal. It's mind-blowing. But you have to know the pros and the cons. You have to not to overlook the flaws of the system. You have to be precautious and not take sides. And you have to know to argument after that. After that, to gather more information, I went to Geneva to the first RAMSES meeting I went to, and of course networking, and met Gabriel and Jesse and Dr. Dubernard, and to learn from other experiences in my own country. So the first robot they bought, it was bought by a different hospital. It's a private hospital, and of course they bought it for the urologists. Although the strategy was odd because it was an economic failure. They bought it on a private basis and couldn't sell it out to the public. So it was a real bad startup for robotic surgery after all, because, well, it made other hospitals wait and see what happened. The other part of the plan was to gather skills, so that's why I spent that year going to different meetings, visiting Dr. Dubernard, visiting Strasbourg, and also looking at some books for coaching abilities, because there you can find some nice skills in order to be prepared to sell your idea, you know? And that's where I found this guy, Simon Sinek. He wrote something about what he calls the golden circle. And it's about how to try to sell your ideas out to the public. So the usual way that people do it is they tell you what they are selling, a robot, how they want to operate with it, yeah, from the distance and so on and so on. And why? Because it's cool. So that's not the way to do it. What he tells people is you have to go the other way around and find out why, because people buy why you do it and then go the other way around. So if you find why you do it and can sell that, people will be interested in you and will acknowledge the rest of it. So if you do it the other way around, like for example those guys at the other clinic in Bogota, it's the clear mistake. So what I found out is I needed a better key to why. So why? It's because I believe that technology will surpass our skills, as we have heard from before, in any field. So it will allow us to perform better with less risks and better outcomes for our patients. And then the how, yeah, I see that thinking outside the box and letting new ideas of how surgery has been done over the past century, we will overcome the anatomic boundaries of our profession now. And then the what? So robotic-assisted surgery will allow us to have more precision, less wounds, better outcomes, all the things we heard before. So that's the proper way to do it. So another thing I learned from this guy, Simon Sinek, is the curve of innovation, where he sees that the population that will encounter new things can be segmentized in the first 2.1% are the innovators. They will go and buy the new iPhone, you know, they make the lines and so on. Then you have 13% of people who are like the early entrepreneurs. And when you reach about an 80%, above 15% of that population, your business is really rising because you have an early majority and then the late followers will come at you. So the third part of my quest was to find friends with experience. I found them. We managed to organize a meeting just for robotic surgery in Bogota, and there also was looking for new friends and allies for that. And of course, if you gather allies, you have to look back to the urologists because, well, I'm a plastic surgeon, so if you want to start a robotic program just from plastic surgery, it's going to be very difficult. You have to look for your allies, and my allies, of course, urologists and the ENT guys, because nowadays the evidence shows that it will be cost effective first, probably with ENT. So if you do your homework right, and as I did, I came to be seen at my hospital as the robot guy. You know, people go, someone is asking about robots, go and ask Zambrano. And actually, Allianz, the insurance company, came up to make a research in order to stop some huge bills from another hospital with robotic surgery. So the subdirector of my hospital sent them to me, of course. So I was challenged again because he wanted to find out how to support that this kind of surgery was too expensive. So, well, I had to sit down again and look at the papers and search specific papers just to how cost specific was the deal. And my conclusion was that, yeah, it is quite too expensive now. But I concluded that there are clear signs that this technology will be more affordable and it will be the gold standard for different procedures. And in that order of thinking, it will allow for new products to emerge for the insurance companies as well. So, but it will challenge our ethics, you know, as doctors. And the answer is just looking back to the why. If you know why, then your ethics is going to be clear with that. So in summary, you have to know the entire picture. You have to surround yourself with people interested in the same goals as you. You have to understand why you are doing it, and the how and what will follow, just as easy. And to persist in order not to perish, because, well, it's a hard bargain, as we have already heard. And if you don't want to fail, and if you want to succeed, well, you have to come up with a lot of crap. And, well, crap is criticism, rejection, a lot of a-holes, and a lot of pressure. So I want to show you a very interesting video that might also show what I'm trying to accomplish here. It's very important to have sound.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and the crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made. So let's recap what we've learned. If you are a version of the shirtless dancing guy, all alone, remember the importance of nurturing your first few followers as equals, making everything clearly about the movement, not you. Be public, be easy to follow. But the biggest lesson here, did you catch it? Leadership is over-glorified. Yes, it started with the shirtless guy, and he'll get all the credit, but you saw what really happened. It was the first follower that transformed a lone nut into a leader. There's no movement without the first follower. See, we're told that we all need to be leaders, but that would be really ineffective. The best way to make a movement, if you really care, is to courageously follow and show others how to follow. When you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first person to stand up and join in.
So follow the nut. I mean, thank you so much.